Salve, salve, galera! Nessa nova série do Mistura Fina, a gente vai assistir o surf, mas de uma maneira diferente. No quadro de hoje, a gente não vai ver os surfistas e as suas famosas manobras radicais, e sim como as ondas são formadas. Vamos lá?
Contrary to most big wave spots, Waimea seems to prefer waves with lots of energy in the lower swell periods, right about 15 seconds or so. Waves with longer swell periods have deeper wave energy, so they feel the offshore reefs and focus more toward another big wave spot called outer log cabins. The best storms that generate ideal waves for Waimea Bay are usually located within 1,200 miles northwest of Oahu. The farther away a storm is, the more the wave sizes will decay before reaching the surf spot. Swells from storms further away generally just don't have enough punch to create the kind of raw energy needed to create huge waves at Waimea. As the waves approach the takeoff zone at Waimea, they rise extremely quickly over a very shallow ledge to create a fast, critical drop. The middle of the bay is deeper due to the flow of fresh water out of the Waimea Valley, which is cut through rock and coral over thousands of years. All surf spots, whether they're small wave spots or big wave spots, all need a special kind of a bottom. And the best surfing waves are created when there's an irregular bottom contour which goes from shallow to deep. The waves, as they move in over this variance of deep and shallow water, naturally focus and turn in towards the shallower water. What that does is not only does it create a little bit larger wave from the deep water, but it also creates a breaking wave which breaks from one side to the other. And as surfers, this is really what we're looking for. We're looking at a wave that breaks from one side to the other so we can surf down the line. When the waves come in and reach a flatline depth where the depth is constant all the way across, the wave will lose its shape and close out. Whether it's a small wave, a medium-sized wave, or a huge wave, closed out waves are poor for surfing because we can't surf them. Once the waves reach about 50 feet on the face, the ledge at Waimea stops having the same kind of effect on the wave shape and break in deeper water in the middle of the bay. So due to that water depth, we figured the largest surfable wave at Waimea would be about 55 feet on the face before it begins to close out.
On a big day with a good set of binoculars, you might have seen outer log cabins, located just a couple miles to the northwest of Waimea Bay on Oahu's north shore. Sean explains more.
The reef at outer log cabins is a total wave magnet. It's located nearly a mile offshore and is at the southern edge of a massive coral reef that extends all the way around the north shore of Oahu. The reef turns in close to shore at this location and creates a type of abnormal bottom contours, a variance between deep and shallow water, which all of our big wave spots prefer. This portion of the reef is also responsible in part for the great shaped waves of the infamous Bonsai Pipeline located closer to shore. The waves wrap and bend in over the outside reef at outer log cabins and then help to create the left breaking waves along the inside reef at Pipeline. The biggest swells for outer log cabins come from storms that are located within 2,000 miles of Hawaii. The depth of the reef prefers swells with longer swell periods when the reef can magnify the waves up to 3 to 4 times their original height. Outer log cabins doesn't even really start firing until the waves reach about 40 feet on the face. Probably some of the biggest waves ever ridden in surfing history took place here on January 28, 1998. These waves were created by a strong El Niño storm located 1,000 miles north of Hawaii. Ken Bradshaw reportedly rode an 80-foot wave on that day, and others rode numerous waves in the 60-foot plus range. And how big can the waves get at outer log cabins? Well, after studying the reef, we calculate the largest rideable waves at outer log cabins could be around 90 feet on the face before the waves become unrideable and close out.
Our next location is also in Hawaii, but it's on the north shore of the island of Maui. It's called Jaws.
Jaws is one of those freaks of nature that every surfer should try to see in person at least once in their lifetime. Many swells from the west are blocked from reaching Jaws by the island of Molokai to the north. Once a storm moves further to the north, the swell will be able to fill in around the corner of Molokai and focus its energy towards Jaws. The ocean floor at Jaws is incredibly unique with an extremely deep trench very close to shore. This underwater trench was dug out by massive amounts of fresh water flowing out of the Piahi Valley over thousands of years. The water depth in the trench is more than 100 feet deep, right next to a very shallow reef only 20 feet, which is where the waves break. You may notice all of the boats and people floating in a safe zone right over the deepwater trench where the waves don't break. Again, this radical difference in water depth is the secret to the big waves at Jaws. Wave energy passing over the deep water of the trench bends in aggressively toward the shallow water over the reef. This combination of extra energy converging over the reef helps the waves to become 3 to 5 times larger than their original height in deep water.
E agora que vocês já sabem como as ondas são formadas, se liga no próximo programa com muito mais novidades. Fui!